up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders. Being the market, one trade at a time. For the Market Marauders investment channel helps you to find the best deals in the market. That's something you're interested in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm. All right, now today is a huge day, fantastic day for the market as a whole. Pfizer has announced that they have a vaccine candidate that is ready. So originally they were looking to have a vaccine candidate that had around a 70 or 60% efficacy, which efficacy, if you're not familiar, just basically means the percentage that the vaccine itself can cure the disease in hand. So if we're talking about like flu vaccines, I think they're about 70 to around 70 to 60% efficacy, but Pfizer and BioNTech, the company that they're partnering with, said that they have a 90% efficacy. So this is just crazy on all different levels. I know a lot of people jumped into Pfizer today. They were able to take advantage. If we look at Pfizer, they ended the day today at $39.94. So not too high from where they're usually at. They are bullish, denoted by this moving average 10 line being above the moving average 50 and the moving average 100. So being bullish on here definitely shows that they had volume going on. But one of the things that I think is why they didn't go as high as they could have potentially gone is because there were a lot of actually brokerages that were down. And no, it was not Robinhood. So a lot of people were like, oh, it's probably Robinhood. Robinhood's garbage. Robinhood trash. Yes, Robinhood does have its problems. Its customer service is whack, super whack. But it was not Robinhood that was down today. Also, it was not Webull that was down today. It actually was these different ones. So TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, and Fidelity. Charles Schwab said they had clients having difficult logging into their accounts and hold times longer than usual. Vanguard, TD Ameritrade, and Fidelity also tweeted some clients were having technical problems. So, I think a lot of people who were trying to jump into these stocks to see this volatility go up actually didn't get to jump into the stocks. So I think tomorrow, I'm going to call it a double bang. So I think tomorrow, the stocks are probably going to go up, especially the different sectors that I'm going to talk about later on during this stream on how they can, you can actually benefit from them. So if you're familiar with the stream that I had yesterday, we talked about cannabis, so the cannabis companies. I think cannabis, in my opinion, is going to be on the back burner for just a little while because of this news of the vaccine. So the vaccine news basically was one of the major catalysts that I had for the market. The other catalyst being the stimulus. So the stimulus still has not been approved. There's not one on the table that I am aware of. So the stimulus, is still something that I think is going to be in talks. Now, there's not going to be that much money put towards other things. Now there's a vaccine. So I think a stimulus being passed will be a lot sooner rather than later. And the proposal will probably be put together a lot sooner rather than later, especially considering that there's a vaccine. Now, the other stimulus, they couldn't agree on a lot of different metrics like unemployment and all those things, but there's a vaccine out here now, so I think that there's going to be a faster stimulus than there was beforehand. So we do have a president. The election is finally over. It is President Biden, even though some Trump supporters say, they're still contesting it. I'm just going to roll with the fact that it's Biden at the current moment until I hear otherwise. That's basically what I'm going to roll with, that it's Biden. So if, the ballots are recounted and it becomes Trump, then I'll roll with Trump. Either one, doesn't really matter to me. I'm just looking to see how I can grow my account and get some money. So that is, if as an investor, you should be trying to figure that out as well, how you can grow your account to get some money. So Pfizer definitely looking at for tomorrow, especially considering a lot of people weren't able to get into their accounts with TD Ameritrade and those other brokerages being down. So what sector you're probably saying should you be looking at? The sector I think that everybody should be looking at is the airline sector. Airline sector just went crazy. They took off, literally, pun intended. So United Airlines added more than 19% to the end of the day to end at $41.32. Delta Airlines rose 17% to end at $36.77. Hawaiian Holdings, which is a parent company of Hawaiian Airlines, soared 50% to $20.89 to close the highest since June. American Airlines rose 17% to go to $13.20, which is their 2-month high. And shares of Boeing raised 13.7% to end at $179.36. So airlines is definitely a sector I think everybody should look at, to increase your portfolio. I think it was just the beginning of people starting to put money into airlines. Once, there's more news on this vaccine stock that came, or the vaccine that came out, then I think you definitely would look at airlines companies. Now, another group that you should look at is hospitalities, that being hotels, restaurants, things of that nature, as far as them going up. So hotels, I think, are going to continue to go up. Casinos, casino stocks I see going up as well. If you're looking for other things, if you're looking for other things to go up, I would say, you can look at EVs. EVs have been going up. EV being electric vehicle sector has been going up as well. For things that are going down at the current moment, I would say, look at the other vaccine stocks. The other vaccine stocks seem to be going down. INO went down tremendously today after Pfizer released their information, but then also like the stay-at-home sector. So the stay-at-home sector being Zoom. So a company like Zoom, then you have another company that are stay-at-home, like Peloton. Look at those companies to be going down because people are not going to be staying at home. You have a vaccine. I don't think that companies are going to be, having incentivized permanently working from home. I think all the companies that, did the permanent work from home are going to stick with it. I don't think they're going to say, oh, we're going to move back to people coming to the office if they already permanently did the work from home. So if you're going to do the remote, I think the remote's going to be an option for a lot of different people. But I think with the vaccine, you're going to see a lot of companies, start to come back to life and try to find a way to integrate workers back into the workplace. So going back on the list of stocks that I had from yesterday, one of the ones that I was told to look at was Lordstown Motors. I actually looked at the company. I think they look pretty legit. I think it's pretty cool. This is their website. They have a pretty big plant. So I think it looks pretty cool overall. Definitely, interesting concept on their vehicle. I think it looks kind of slick. I like the rims on there. Rims kind of look like new age sort of things. But I think it's a pretty cool company overall. Definitely interested to see what they have coming out in the future, and definitely will look at them for a prospect. Their ticker sign is RIDE, so that was the one that I was asked to look at from yesterday. So if there's a stock you want me to look at, drop it down below in the comment section, or drop it in the comment tab, and I'll try to add it to this list to look at it. Just give you my synopsis of what I think of the company as a whole. So going to the list, let's start the list. So on here for today, we had Sundial Growers. Now, Sundial Growers kind of disappointed me. It was stagnant. I was able to jump in, pretty early and secure a profit, but I expected it to continue to go up even more. I don't think the ride is over for Sundial Growers, in my personal opinion. So don't feel like you have FOMO. I think just the whole cannabis sector in general was put on hold after this vaccine kind of came out. So don't think for a second that cannabis is not going to happen, or they're not going to focus on cannabis as a whole. The Democratic Party always focuses on cannabis. I mean, look at all the laws and legislation that was passed when President Barack Obama was president. So, with a Biden presidency, especially under a Kamala Harris vice presidency, I do believe that cannabis will be one of the main focuses once all of this vaccine information kind of slows down. So look at sundial growers. The rise is kind of slow, but we can see over time that they have just continued to rise. I would say still keep them on your watch list, keep them on your radar. Also keep ACB. They had an earnings, I think it was today. Not sure. I think they had an earnings that came up for Aurora Cannabis. So I don't currently have them written down on my board, but I would say, definitely keep an eye out on them. Another large cannabis company. They ended the day at $11.75. So they actually went up 54 cents after hours. So they still have some growth left in them. Pun intended on that one. Then look at Scott's Miracle Grow. They actually went down quite a bit. I think that's just because, the whole vaccine thing came out. People are probably assuming that, the vaccine came out, people are not going to be using cannabis products anymore. I beg to differ. I think cannabis will always be here to stay. And there will always be a person or two that will bring up legislation on trying to pass more laws until it is fully legal in the U.S. Or at least as legal as it is in Canada. So, I think it'll still be on the docket and people will still continue to talk about it, especially with this Democratic presidency. Going into another one, we had Neo. Neo still ripping like crazy. I remember this thing was, super cheap. But if we look at this, entire chart, we could see from about the 28th, they've just gone a crazy rip, basically doubled. So 26.83 here, ending the day today at 44.18. So pretty crazy rip upward for Neo. I think this stock is still bullish. They're making big moves. I think the potential for this is to be like $100 stock by the end of 2021, in my personal opinion, especially considering, how high Tesla has gone. Tesla's gone like to thousands of dollars, even though Tesla has its own cult following. I think Neo has its own cult following as well. And you also have to think that it is a company that's based in China. So they operate a lot different than the company that is in the U.S. does. So with the U.S. company, you get more updates, you get faster updates. But with the company that's in China, the data may be a little delayed considering here. But I think if they make manufacturing possible for Neo in the U.S., have a lot more distribution centers where people can buy Neo vehicles. I don't think there's any reason why this stock couldn't be higher than what they currently are. So going into Tesla, the next one in the EV space, Tesla actually went down a little bit today. After hours, they went up a little more to 274. So they ended the day at $424. So plus $2.74 from where they closed at. But I think Tesla's always been volatile. I think it always fluctuates. So I wouldn't say a $2, up price or $2 down price is any, difficult move for Tesla. Going into Plug Power, they actually had their earnings today. So I'm going to jump into that. So this is their earnings for Plug Power. This is the reported gross billing of $125.6 million. Reflected growth of 106% year over year and 73% sequentially, reflecting strong performance in quarter, raising 2020 gross billings guidance to $325 million to $330 million from the $310 million previously. Hosted a second annual virtual plug symposium showcase, strategic portfolios, and green hydrogen market expansion gigafactory, and reaffirming revenue and EBITDA targets for 2024. So they're doing projections for way out. They announced a strategic partnership with Brookfield Energy and Apex Clean Energy to source renewable electricity and build liquid green hydrogen plants. They signed a MOU with Lind to deploy pilot Class 6 and Class 8 vehicles on the road in 2021, and I think those will be hydrogen-powered vehicles, by the way. Recent capital raise positions the company with over $725 million in cash to execute on its growth initiative. So $725 billion is not a small amount of money at all, especially considering all this company does and the amount of people that they have is not that big of a company. So they have a lot of cash on hand to do a lot of different things with. So, you know, I'm definitely looking forward to see more updates from them. So it says Plug Power deployed another record 4,100 fuel cell systems and 13 hydrogen fuel stations in quarter 2020. This reflects a growth of 130% for fuel cell units deployed. This record growth aligns with Plug Power's target to have cumulatively deployed over 40,000 Gen Drive systems by the year end, and to design, build, and operate a fueling network in excess of 100 hydrogen fueling stations. So this is similar to the plan that Nikola had by increasing hydrogen and having that infrastructure built up. So definitely interested to see what this company does in the future and how they can increase that infrastructure. So going back to Webull, next one we have on here is Workhorse, which had their earnings today as well. So Workhorse ended today at $18.91. Workhorse on here, I have theirs pulled up. So if we look at Workhorse, going to read through some of this. They set their 2021 production volume target to 1,800 vehicles. Received a purchase order for 500 C1000 trucks from Pickard Auto Company for its national fleet program, which is being financed by Hitachi Capital America, or HCA. Through various financing, the company improved its current cash position to over $260 million. So their strategic partnership with Lordstown Motors Corporation LMC completed the merger with Diamond Peak Corporation LMC. Class A shares now trade on NASDAQ Global Select market under the ticker symbol RIDE. So that's their ticker symbol, RIDE. That was the one I was asked to look up, which Workhorse actually has a 10% ownership stake of. So that's pretty cool, for the company. Definitely expanding the EV world. So the stake is estimated to be at nearly $285 million on the November 6th closing price. So it's not a small stake, actually pretty lucrative stake in Lordstown Motors. They partner with Hitachi and Hitachi Capital America to optimize the company's manufacturing, operational, and supply chain capabilities, as well as develop a national dealer network to support Workhorse's sales with vehicle financing options for both dealers and customers. They recorded additional new vehicle sales orders from Fluid Systems and eTrucks LLC. So a lot of things going on with the company. This is kind of a timeline of the stuff that they were doing and then what was going on. But I think overall, I think the company is doing pretty well, which they said their sales for the third quarter of 2020 were recorded at $565,000 compared to $4,000 in the third quarter of 2019. So, I mean, they've quadrupled basically the amount of money that they are getting from sales year over year, which is a fantastic metric. So cost of goods sold increased to $2.8 million from $1.4 million in the third quarter of 2019. The increase was primarily driven by increase in labor and materials related to the cost of the C series production. So this company is doing all this stuff, even given the fact that they still don't have this contract from USPS. So one of the catalysts from this company that I've seen is that they were going to be partnering with USPS to develop a vehicle for the United States Postal Service. So they're going to basically have the United States Postal Service convert all of their vehicles or start to convert all their vehicles to Workhorse. That contract has not gone through yet, but I think with a Biden candidacy, it will probably be put back on the table. I think on this Thursday, we're going to be getting a distribution of funding for all the different departments of government. So I think one of the things we'll see how much money the U.S. Postal Service is actually going to get and how much they can actually pay for this deal, and if they even want to do the deal with Workhorse. So definitely going to be interested to see if that deal is brought back to the table. So next we got Novavax, which went down today. Their moving average 10 is 91.41. Moving average 50 is $90.01. Moving average 100 is $86.83. So they went down today. If we see on here, they ended the day at $86.14. So down $4.17 from close. So pretty far downward movement. Going into another one, we have McDonald's, ticker sign MCD. They were down today as well, ending at 213. We have ticker sign BYND, which is Beyond Meat. They kind of ran sideways, in my opinion, today. Was down a little bit, then went up some, then went down, back again. But Beyond Meat, we can see on here that they ended at $116.73. So they went down $33.77 from the actual close. So that is a significant drop, based on where they closed at. So I'm interested to see when the market opens, what's going on with that. I feel like that's oversold. I feel like that's extremely oversold, in my opinion. And want to know the reason for that dramatic drop. Another company that suffered a dramatic drop as well is I&O. Once the news came out about Pfizer, I&O fell like a rock. So it just dropped off tremendously today to end at $8.77. Maybe oversold. I think it was a dramatic reaction to Pfizer actually being out. I think a lot of people, were like, I'm just going to sell I&O. Take it for a loss and then try to jump in Pfizer, which, they probably weren't able to do because the trading platforms were down. But, tomorrow morning, we'll definitely see the effects of all of these people not being able to trade. Nikola also going down as well. But then afterwards, after this, the market closed, they went up 42 more cents to end at 19.05. Still a lot of work to do for that company as a whole. Going into Rocket, so they were up today, still bullish, but ended today at $21.60. We got Lyft, which is on a bullish run up at the current moment. Looking at Lyft, they ended the day at $37.42, so pretty good for them. Corsair Gaming, they're bearish at the current moment, went down a little bit today to end at $27 even. And then we'll go to Purple. Purple sold off quite a bit. I think this was also because a lot of people were expecting Purple to be the company that, people are going to be at home. They're going to be buying mattresses because they're at home with lockdowns. But with the, discovery of the vaccine, they're probably not going to be buying mattresses as readily as they did before. So I think that's why people sold off Purple. Going to Cisco. Cisco was okay today. Started to fall off a little bit, but I say they're still bullish at the current moment. Denoted by where they ended, which is 38.20, so not too bad of a metric for them. To keep my eyes out on them. Disney shot up today like a rocket based off this vaccine news. So we see they started the morning today at 126, shot all the way up to about 147.68, and ended the day at 141.49. So, I think they definitely benefited from this vaccine news because that means that parks are going to be opening back up with the potential of this vaccine. If it's passed by the FDA, then Blink went down some today, still bullish, but still went down some to end at $9.53. We have Lordstown Motor, which I was talking about earlier, still going sideways, still trading sideways. So I'll look at that at the coming weeks. And then we got DraftKings. DraftKings ended the day bullish overall, but still I would say that their earnings is going to be on Friday, so I would expect them to rally closer getting to Thursday, continue to trade sideways as the week goes on. So those are all the stocks from the watch list that I have currently. Those are ones that have earnings, as well as this Pfizer move. Definitely going to be looking for some more movement from Pfizer as it continues to go up. And definitely going to look at to see what level it will go up to. I think its 52-week high is around $42. So if it can break its 52-week high, then we'll see, a definite strong breakout from them. Hearing that a lot of the trading platforms, a lot of brokerages were down today may have affected the price volume of this stock. But I think volume for them tomorrow is going to be very high. I know if people didn't know, now they know. I've seen, the Pfizer news on just about every media outlet, from the Today Show to Wall Street Journal to Business Insider to CNBC to YouTube. Everywhere basically has been talking about Pfizer, so it has the center of attention in my personal opinion. If you didn't see it from there, then you saw it from Twitter with Mike Pence talking about it. President Biden talking about it. So just a whole bunch of coverage of this, I think, builds up to have this go up even more tomorrow once brokerages get, their software under control. Well, good luck to everybody trading out there this week. Make sure you drop a comment down below or in the chat to make sure you let me know what stocks you guys are looking at or any stock you want me to look at, and I'll try to go check it out. But good luck to everybody trading out there this week. It's going to be a crazy week out there. I'll try to give you some more updates on what's going on as they come in, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.